I'm Courtney's daddy, and she is her.
You think you would have been a football star?
Easily.
Easily?
Look at yourself. Where you think you come from? You know what I mean? And I had it all. I mean, I was the package. You know when you know.
Yeah.
You know when you know.
Not being a feminine woman is the most convenient thing I probably ever did in my life. Was like, stop being a feminine woman. The biggest thing about college now is that these kids is getting paid, boy. We ain't getting no dollars at all. And I know I would have got paid. I probably still have my hair right now. I probably didn't have mad deals off of my hair. Like, what? Man, I would have kept that hair, bro. If that bread was coming in, my hair would have never got cut off. I promise. Yes, sir.
Yo, that's me, that's
yes,
me, that's
sir,
me.
yes,
Courtney
sir.
daddy right here, you know that's me.
And I'm Courtney. Let's get into it.
So on the first time I'm working a bald head today. So no hat.
Boy, you look good though.
Let people see the real me.
You looking like money.
I look like the new kid. I just got his school. Just moved
hey, it look good though.
You like it though?
Heck yeah, it look good. It looks so good.
I just had to let it go. Once it started going, you gotta let it go. Now some people be still trying to hold on to it and do little side things and stuff, the little rims.
Today, we're gonna talk about our college experience, man. With everything going on with these college kids, I think it's only right that we talk about what we went through when we was in college.
That is good to even say you even went to college.
That's facts.
I mean, when you young growing up, like, I'm going to college. Yeah. I'm going to go to college and be somebody. You know?
That's a fact.
You ain't really got to go to college now to get money. But college is always, you know. When you go to college, you know what college is about. Yeah. It's like the funnest time of your life.
That's like when you find yourself, I feel.
I can go for that.
I feel like I found myself when I was in college. I'm serious. I'm serious. I feel like I really found myself. I found myself when I went to college.
How you found yourself?
Bro, because I wouldn't be who I am. If I ain't go to college, I would not be who I am.
I guess that's really when you learn about the birds and the bees, so they say. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you know what I think? I think it's just you just exposed to everything, like everybody coming from all these different places, coming to this college. Yeah, so it's like, even if you are a certain type of way, by the time you done came in contact with all these different personalities and all these different experiences, I feel like it turned you into a different person.
The person you are, I guess your DNA and your being, and you accept all these different people and cultures that come into your life, and you shape it to what you want, and then you like, da-na-na-na, on me.
So, what was your college experience like? Well, first tell us where you went to college.
Okay.
And then you could get into
Okay, coming out, Miami Jackson High. Shout out to Jackson again. You know, Miami Jackson, I graduated high school. So the SAT test was, I think, 800, 900 to really to go to a Division I school. So I did bad on it.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know why I did bad on it. It was just a bad day for me, you know?
Yeah.
And so I went to a smaller school. I didn't go to Division I. I was good enough. So I went to Cheney University. It's a black college, Division II, I think, maybe III. It's Cheney University in Pennsylvania. So I went there, walk on, got on the team, boom, balling, you know, college. Many colleges like black college, you know what I mean, and everything, you know, hey, woo. You know, you ain't had no mom and dad to tell you to come home and do that, hit the parties, you know. Hey, they have the frat party, get to the frat party, all the fraternities bid for you. Hey, it was money, you know, all the girls, first time out, freshmen, you know, the freshman class. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. But then I got on the football team. Then my second year, I played as a fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. So you had to have a 2.7, I think, to pledge. Man, I bust my butt for that 2.7.
Period.
You know, I was a kid. I was just like do enough to get along. You know, 2.0. As long as I'm passing, I'm good. But I had to step up, so I had to put that extra work in to pledge, and it turned out.
So why did you choose to pledge? What made you want to pledge?
What made me want to pledge? Well, coming from the South, you think about the Q-Dogs. That's all you hear is Omega Psi Phi, the Q-Dogs. So when I got to college, all my homeboys from Florida and Georgia were Sigmas. Yeah. You know? So one day we dumping the girls in the snow at the school, all the freshmen boys, we all from Florida, we just dunked it out. And one of these fraternity boys, girl was one of them, we dumped her in the snow too.
Yeah.
First time seeing snow, we just wilding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bunch of wild animals. Man, the fraternity boys came with them singing Blue Fire, but they came deep. Even our homeboys from Florida was surrounding us, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, no, that's who I want to be down with.
What, they came over there like trying to check y'all?
Yeah, they came and checked us, you know what I mean? Hey, this one singer, he was like, man, that's my girl, man. I'm like, boy, who you think you talking to? Boy, I don't see you. You know?
Yeah, you a little young, fresh out the gate type of,
out the gate, man, my homeboy. He done went and got all his frat brothers and they came. Ooh, shoot, they were deep too. I like, okay, yeah, we cop deuces, you know, we walked away. But I said, okay, so they wanted us to play it, so we played on their line, man.
Oh, word, they told y'all to pledge after that?
Yeah, you know, my homeboys from Florida, we started talking and all that, and they gave us the rundown, how this fraternity thing work and all that, you know.
But okay, so let's get back to you.
I had a girlfriend. One girlfriend after your mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After your mom broke my heart coming out of high school, so I went to college, my first time having a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had her name was Tara. Shout out to Tara, you see this, you know? And everybody during that time who knew us, you know, I felt like Tara was the prettiest girl in the school. You know?
Yeah.
And me and Tara rocked for them 2 years. I think I was out there like 2 years, you know?
So you did 2 years of college?
Yep. And then I transferred. So while I was in college, also, I had joined the Air Force. So I joined the Air Force on a bet because this girl.
Wait.
Hey, for real, it turned out to be one of the great things I did in life, you know. But I was going with Tar. Her roommate was in the Air Force Reserve, and she was bringing him out of the Air Force. Hey, you got to be so smart to be in the Air Force. Yeah, everybody can't get in there. I said, that ain't that. So I knew I was pretty smart, you know what I mean? So I said, man, I know I'll bust that test up. She betted me I couldn't pass it. And I busted on, boom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Made a Superman score on, right? And the recruiters caught wolf of it. Boom, so they was like, he was on me. Every day he was out there trying to get me to join, you know what I mean? I said, nah, man, I want to join. He kept coming, come on. And I joined. Hey, so one summer, during the summer, I said I go in the Air Force, okay, if I can do a job that basic training and the school, all that in the summer while I'm out from football, you know, and it did it. I went in the Air Force, I was a firefighter, boom, went to the little training thing, came back to school, boom, and I was in the reserves, just like that. So I tell you the bad part.
Tell us it all.
So in college, right, I ain't had nobody to take care of me, I had to take care of myself, you know what I mean? So after I pledged my fraternity and everything, you know, I started knowing people from New York and Philly. You know, that's why I was up there. I started learning Philly. Man, Philly off the chain, boy. Philly, North Philly, Germantown, all that place right there. There's some different kind of people. They some like next level type hustlers, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I hooked up with these people and stuff, and you know, and I'm from Miami. Put one and one together, you know, and 1 + 1 = 2. So the Philly people needed it. I'm from Miami, I know where to get it. You know what I mean? Different stuff, different materials and things. So while I was in college, I was running back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Being a middleman, supplier and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 30 years ago. You know what I mean? And so while I was in college, you know, I had everything going for me. You know? So I left college and moved home because I was in college making all this money, right? And I was getting scared. You know what I mean? Because I had all this money. I had all this money under the bed in school. Yeah. I didn't know what to do with it. Young, dumb, don't know what to do. So I said, I'm going to take a moment out of college, you know, to just get myself together. Yeah. So I moved to Jacksonville. Got me a place in Jacksonville. I transferred all this money down there. And I tell myself I'm going back to school because I don't want to be a dummy. I want to be that dude who do it right. You know what I mean?
What was your major when you was in college?
I think communications.
Okay. You knew what you wanted to do with it or no?
No, I came to be a communication major because it didn't require no calculus.
So you didn't like math?
Not calculus. You know, I hated that. But then I found out what communication really was, and I said, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to be a DJ. I want to be on the mic one day. You know what I mean? I want to be able to speak and reach people, you know, because I was comfortable being behind the mic, talking, you know, something of that part, you know. And here I am at the beginning stage, you know what I mean?
So I got another question for you. So how you think life would have been if you would have stayed in college?
Man, it would have been different.
How it would have been different? What you think?
Because me leaving college and participating in illegal activities caused me to go to jail. That's why I say if I would have stayed in college and not participated in none of that foolishness, then my life would have totally been different.
You think you would have been a football star?
Easily.
Easily?
Easily.
Like NFL, or you think you would have just...
NFL, B. Look at yourself. Where you think you come from? You know what I mean? I promise you.
Yeah.
I was fast out, and I had it all. I mean, I was the package. You know when you know.
Yeah.
You know when you know. I knew, but I had so much going on instead of just focusing on me and being focused on that right there, because I ain't had no role model in my life. I ain't had no person in my life to hold me accountable to get to that next level, motivate me. I was kind of hungry, but I done stumbled into other money that was instant money, right now money,
Yeah.
If I'd have just sacrificed, like this instant money that I'm getting right now is not worth wasting for the future money to come.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't had no support system, so to speak. And that's why I slipped and fell. So yeah, if I would have stayed in college, I would have went pro, I came from a small town from Folkestone to Miami, and this would have been a small college. So like you got to put in that extra work so somebody know. So when the scouts came out there one time, they knew that all they do is keep my head straight and I'll be coming for a tryout or whatever. They'll be looking at me in the pros. But I took a different route. Federal government.
What is wrong with you, bro? Okay.
So... that's one of my little regrets in life. But, it's good to get it out, let it know. But coming out of that, I came with a whole different mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my early life. I done messed up, and I had a second chance at life. You know what I mean? Did my time, came out, now my little Wody. Make sure she don't do what I did. You know what I mean?
For
Make
sure.
sure she part and go to college,
Yeah.
So I did that. Came out, Courtney, the story we done told to get up to the point where you in college.
For sure.
So now you tell your college story, I got you through high school. Now
Yeah.
I got you through elementary. I got you through high school. Now I got you in college. Go ahead, Courtney, do what you do now.
Yeah.
There you go. You got the ball. What you did?
I think college is crazy because I think it's exactly what you said. Like, you don't have your mom and your dad there to kind of tell you what to do. But in the same breath, I still had my structure too because I was there playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of people maybe don't know, but like when you go to school on a scholarship and you playing a sport, they pretty much lay out your schedule for you. Like what time you got your classes, what time you got your study halls, what time you got, like extra workouts, your conditioning, like team dinners on the road, like everything that you would think to do on your own, they pretty much map it out for you. So like honestly, my life been kind of mapped out like that. I didn't really lose that structure when I went to college is what I'll say. I had more freedom in the sense of I'm around different personalities now. I'm around all these different people. I'm in a different environment. But I think the structure aspect of it for me still stayed put because, like I said, they pretty much mapping everything out for me. But I do feel like in college I found myself though. Because I feel like if I wouldn't have went to college, I would have never been gay. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm not one of them people, I just gotta be honest. I'm not one of them people who was like,
how you say you wouldn't have been gay?
I'm finna tell you. Okay, so I say that because I'm not one of those where I wasn't one of those people that, grew up at a young age liking the same sex. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up like, oh, I like girls. I had a boyfriend, that we was beefed out behind him.
I know.
I had a boyfriend that I was like, I thought was gonna be the person I was gonna be with for the rest of my life. Like nobody could have told me that ain't what I was about to be doing. So from 13 all the way up until mama dropping me and him off to my college, I'm thinking this is who I'm about to be with. You see what I'm saying? So like I didn't even look at girls or like at the time I had a bust down. I'm wearing dresses. I was like girly. Real deal girly, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, now I'm still that tomboy, but I wasn't like in this weird space of like, oh, am I looking at girls? Am I liking men? Like, oh, maybe I'm bisexual. Like, I didn't think none of those things. I just was like, I like my man. You feel me? Like, so when I got to college, it was like a whole new world opened up for me because all I've ever known is Folkestone. All I've ever known is my boyfriend. So when I go to college and now I'm around all these different people, different ethnicities, different sizes, different sexual preferences, I'm like, wow, this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta adapt now. I ain't saying I adapted. That was me adapting. I'm not gonna say that. But I just feel like it just opened my mind up. You know what I'm saying? And look at me now. No hair. Gay as hell. All because I went to college.
So college influenced you or just brought what out in you that was in you?
Bro, it wasn't in me. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
telling you that too.
It
was a convenience for you.
I feel like for me, it wasn't something. But I do. It's like I hate when he said like that, but it slipped me the truth because it be like, now that I realize, like, wow, this is how women give it up.
I be like, sometimes I be like, dang, you really gay? I be like, what is gay though? I mean, you know what I mean? I understand what it is, but what is it for real? Like, you are because you like girls and be with girls. Just friends, y'all just girlfriends, girl, whatever you want to call it. Still the same thing, like cool. Y'all the best buddies in the house. I'm cool with that.
I mean, just subtract the man.
Just subtract the man. I ain't got no problem with being in college influenced you to be gay. You felt like you had to stay gay?
That's valid. That's valid. That's valid.
Real questions that real dudes want to know. You know what I mean? They can't just come up and ask you that. Like,
that's a fact.
Podcast is like, you can do it now.
Yeah.
I got a mic. I can't just go up and ask a gay person, why you stay gay? You gay? You saying you was really, really gay, but you liked being gay because college influenced you to be gay.
That's a fact, though.
What made you stay gay?
I think a lot of convenience for me because once I cut this hair off and I realized, wow, like not having hair is such a convenience. Like, I'm just being honest.
I didn't even think about that.
Bro, what? I can just jump in the shower now and just let the water hit my head.
Okay, welcome to my world.
Any pool that's around, I could go jump in it if I want
to.
Let's
go.
Like, it's what? Like, just not being a feminine woman is the most convenient thing I probably ever did in my life. Was like, stop being a feminine woman. And then I realized feminine women do for me. So now I ain't gotta cook or clean.
That was the convenient part I was talking about.
I don't gotta cook. I don't gotta clean. I mean, to be honest.
You want some of this cake we over here eating?
What?
Like, girl, what you doing over here? So like, you here to stay. Why you had to stay? Got one. When you was like, I'm always screaming, you gonna go pro. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even our agent Marcus was screaming, you gonna go pro. You the only one thought you wasn't gonna go pro. Until you saw that mock draft, you know what I mean? And then I remember when we went to the draft, it's like, you was done with college. You said, oh yeah, I got my degree. I was like, dang.
Yeah,
like that. It was just
really
like
do
that.
happen that
I gotta
fast.
pick my degree up. That's it.
Literally,
college was over. I mean, how you felt then?
I ain't gonna lie, it was a super crazy transition because the way you said it is literally the way it happens. Like literally, it's like you're in college one moment, and then they literally like, oh, you about to get drafted. You go to the draft, and right from there, training camp starting like in a week or two. So it's like you don't even have time to really soak up. Like, damn, I just finished college. Like, I can walk the stage. Like, I didn't even go to my college graduation because I was in. No, it was. I was in training camp.
Oh, yeah.
But I was so locked in on trying to make the team that I'm like, man, I can't miss no day. Like, that's what it feel like. It feel like, man, if I go back and miss a day of training camp, I might not make this team. You see what I'm saying? So like I passed on my graduation because I'm like, I gotta make this team. Like I can't go back and see about the graduation. So they was like, they gonna mail you your degree, criminology degree, man. They mailed me that right at the crib. It's at the house, but that was it. And then like you said, from that college was over.
It was over.
Like I was a pro from that point on.
We pro now. Let's go.
Let's get it. The thing about college now is that these kids is getting paid. Boy, we ain't getting no dollars at all. And I know I would have got paid. I probably still have my hair right now. But I probably didn't have mad deals off of my hair. Like, what? Man, I would have kept that hair, bro. If that bread was coming in, my hair would have never got cut off. I promise. Man, these kids is getting paid now. NIL money, like NIL now is making college turn into a real deal free agency. Like you really like I feel like these college kids, like when we was in college, we ain't need agents in college, we ain't need managers in college, we ain't need none of that.
Couldn't even talk to nobody in high school.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
Like now these kids like in high school need managers and agents because now that folks can get that bag, it's like, bro, like the reality is it's like you giving kids millions of dollars. Like,
you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Man, it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing because now, like as you've been seeing, now this money is flowing right into what's next for them. The person that come to my mind when I think of who would have got a bag off of NIL if it was an NIL when we was back in college.
Who?
Skylar Diggins, bro.
Oh yeah.
What? Bro, Sky would have been set for life. She was literally the reason why people started wearing headbands. Nobody, bro, you know it's so crazy. Shout out to Sky, bro. She was my teammate when we was in Unrivaled. Luna Owl, shout out Hootie Hoo, y'all know the vibe. So look, we had this conversation in the locker room where we was talking NIL, and I said that we was like, bro, Sky, you would have been stupid rich, like, and you know how she came up with the headband thing? She was like, the headbands that we had at the time was like them AI headbands. You remember the Allen Iverson headbands, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, her hair at the time didn't look good with that. She was like, so she went into her maintenance closet, like the team, like the facility maintenance. She was like, and they had tennis headbands, and she took a tennis headband and wore it as a basketball headband, and that's where the Skylar Diggins headband trend just went crazy. When people saw that. Like, but think about it. Like, if she would have been able to market that, because she literally got on a tennis headband. That was not in women's basketball at all. Nobody was even thinking about that. She literally went and did that on her own. So if she would have been able to market that and make that her own, what? We talking about bread? We talking about money? We talking about the Adidases and the Nikes and all of these big brands that took that headband and ran with it. And she ain't get a dime off of it. But but that's what I'm saying. I understand why these kids is hopping in that transfer portal. Like we all looking like, man, they need to stay and da. But it's like, bro,
they make it interesting though. Ain't
nobody
gonna dominate.
Think about us, bro. At the point that I would have been in school and then a team offering me $1 million.
Let's go.
I gotta go, bro.
I'm on my way.
I gotta go, bro. Because now we talking about money that some people don't see in a lifetime. Some people don't see that type of money in a lifetime, bro.
And it's out there now.
Cause like I said, like if you
catching it right though, you still in the midst of it. Just, you know what I mean? On that level, pro level. We can only look back at the NIL and admire because it came right behind us. You just barely missed it by 9 years.
Man. I do think NIL is also like shifting everything too, because it's making it harder for these smaller teams like South Florida. Like they can't compete with an LSU and a South Carolina and a UConn because it's like, bro, we don't got that money like how these big top 5 schools have. You know what I'm saying? So even if you do try and like give them the best kind of like, you know, like hey, the best pitch to come to your school. At the end of the day, what a pitch mean if I can only offer you $300,000 and they offering you $1 million?
Yeah, stay out of this. Stay out of this conversation.
Haircut.
Ain't it?